Okay, keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
I want to show you my first ever painting.
All right.
Okay. Open your eyes.
Oh, that's a lot of colors and shapes.
So be honest. What do you think?
Well, I like how if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds of dollars on car insurance.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Here, why don't I hold your paintbrush while you call them?
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
Blog Talk Radio.
Now, what's that smell? Just like cornbread done too well. What you need, you know I got. The hands up, who wants to rock?
Good evening, Metal Faithful. Let me just tell you that Stacy's mom's got it going on. But I didn't come here to tell you that. No, I came here to tell you that this is the Metal Hammer of Doom year-end special 2017. And I am your host, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich. I am joined by the first chair, the Metal Coop, Robert Cooper. How do you do, sir?
Sweepy. Very sweepy.
Good. You and my kids. My kids didn't even make it through dinner tonight. We went out with my folks, and my daughter passed out at the table, and then my son promptly passed out in the car.
That's kind of
Like
adorable.
They're like a bunch of drunks. And joining us in the third chair, he's ready for class. He's got his pencil. He's hot for teacher. Jesse Starcher, how do you do, sir?
Oh, man, what a year it has been. Can you believe the amount of music that we talked about on this podcast for 2017? Unbelievable.
We've done, minus the silly shows where, like Thor or Transformers or something, or like the cover show, we've done 38 shows. And ask me how I know that, Jesse. Ask me. Go ahead, ask me.
How do you know that? How do you know, Mark Radulich, that we've done 38 shows?
Because every show that we did for an original album dropped in 2017, I took one track and added it to my MHOD Best of 2017 playlist on Spotify, and there were 38 tracks.
Wow.
It started on January 31st with Vandal's Nest by Sepultura from the album Machine Messiah, and it ended with Galactic Empire, Battle of the Heroes.
Very good. Now is this something that our listeners could actually maybe did you make this public, or is this a private playlist?
I can make it public now. Here we go.
Do it.
I am making it public.
Oh my
It's
goodness,
public.
he's out in public. He's in public.
This playlist is out there for all of you to take in and observe and do what you need to do with. Whatever. You can now find it on Spotify. Mark Radulich, LCSW, MHOD Best of 2017.
Very cool.
And over the course of this show, I can share with you what's on there. It's kind of a way of discussing what we liked this year, what we didn't like, what I kind of going back over some of the fun things we discussed this year. But this is not just going to be a remembrance of the year. Oh no, this is the Metal Hammer of Doom. We got the new shit to play. Yeah. We all are the youth of the nation. We have 4 tracks apiece of stuff that came out this year. I swears it this time. I swears on the preciouses. I checked them all. That they all came out in 2017. I don't fuck up again. Every song is from an album that dropped in 2017 that we just did not have time to get to. I mean, we ran almost every single week, whether I was in the hospital or not. God damn it. There was a
No
show
shit.
There was a show almost every single week in the year 2017, and that still wasn't enough to get to all the metal that we wanted to get to. So we all picked a track from one album, and we'll talk about maybe why they didn't make the list, when we discovered them. I have a story for each of the 4 tracks I got here, as I'm sure so do Coop and Jesse. But let me bring you guys in on the conversation. Coop, what did you think of this year overall? I mean, and I'll let you answer that any way you want. Any way you want it, that's the way you need it, is any way you want it. You want to talk about what we covered? You want to talk about just in general? Because, I mean, you listened to more than what we covered, obviously. What's your thoughts on the year in the year in metal in 2017?
I mean, I feel like this year was a pretty solid one. There was a lot of good standouts. It was a very diverse year as well. I mean, you look at bands like look at Nail with the Scars and Akercock, which I got the new Akercock album for Christmas. That's cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was one of the few things that I received because like my mom gave me straight cold hard cash, and I'm like, all right, cool, I can fucking deal with that.
Can't go wrong with that.
Straight up. No, it's really hard to say no to cash, unless no. Yeah, I got nothing. I was like, man,
that's what a hooker says.
I was like,
a hooker says it's hard to say no to cash.
That's true. I was trying to think of a hooker, but I'm like, man, no, hookers would say yes to cash. That's right. That's why they make it rain. Yeah, this year's just been, I can really think of a good album of almost every genre this year. Man, I think we reviewed most of them. I think we missed the new Enslaved. That's like one that I didn't include anywhere that I actually bought the other day that I haven't listened to. It says it's scratched. We'll find out.
Yeah, there's a lot we can get to. Like, but here's the problem. Like, for me, there was only so much time I had to listen to new music. And at the beginning of the year, I really did try to keep together a list of stuff. Like, I would sit in my office and try to make, and listen to whatever the new releases were, and try to at least write down a single track from every album. And by the end of January, I fucking gave that up. Now, I also had cancer, so I feel like I get a pass.
Yeah, you get a pass on that.
I'll allow it.
Thanks, guys. Jesse, what I got also here, what I also have here is Loudwire's best 25 metal albums of 2017, some of which we got to, and some of which we didn't. And so I think it'll be fun to compare our list to theirs in terms of what we thought. I mean, really what I thought, what we should have covered, and what they thought ended up being the best. But you spent a straight year with us. Contrary to what your wife thinks, every Wednesday you're on a podcast, and this one.
I am.
What are some of your thoughts, sir?
Well, it has been a fun year. I'll tell you right now that when we decided to do this show, my initial thoughts were I'm going to have a hard time actually coming up with stuff that I listened to that was not on the show. Because we reviewed so much music, what I found myself doing is usually Friday would hit, I'd try to find the album that we're going to be covering on Wednesday, and I'd listen to it as much as I could. I rarely went outside the box in terms of new music to try and see if there was anything else. Now, granted, though, I did find a few albums that were brought to my attention by Spotify that because tonight I'm throwing in some new stuff as well that we never got a chance to cover. But really, my whole metal life of 2017 revolved around the Metal Hammer of Doom in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, as far as what we've covered, I got my eyes open to quite a few bands, and just going through the list tonight of everything that was released, I was able to just straight copy and paste from our website. There are a lot of bands and albums that we covered there. I was like, oh yeah, that was a good one. And then there were a couple where I was like, I don't fucking remember even talking about that band. That's how many albums we covered. When we did a podcast, probably a 2-hour podcast, on a band that I don't even remember what was on the album. So it's going to be a fun time, fun discussion tonight. My plan, as I mentioned to you guys, is that between songs, I've divvied it up into about 11, I think between 10 and 12 songs, or excuse me, 10 and 12 albums. I divvied up the list of what we covered this year. And what we're going to do is we will pick 2 of those albums to make it onto our top, I guess we'll call it our top 10. We'll each have a top 10 list. So I'll pick 2, Mark, you'll pick 2, and Coop, you'll pick 2. So at the end of the show, we'll each have a top 10, and then we'll kind of
we'll have.
It's gonna have to be.
The math doesn't work there. If we all pick 2, that makes 6.
That's a top 6.
If it's between 10 and if there's wait a second, hold on. I did 5 separate lists. 5 separate lists. Okay, I picked 2 for each list. We each pick 2 songs. So at the end, we'll all have 10. You got it? So you're going to pick 2 songs twice, Mark, or excuse me, 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. Yeah, and then I'm also going to pick 2, and then Coop's going to pick 2 as well. So at the end, we'll each have our own top 10 list.
Teacher, I dropped my pencil.
I turn it back over to you, Mark Rattle. Let's get this show started, damn it.
At
least we're going math at the beginning and not the end.
No, I'm with you now, Teach. Okay. Before we get into the first tracks, I'm gonna ask you guys. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna lay it all on the line. I mean, I picked almost every show this year, including the oddballs like the Transformers soundtrack and Thor by Wizard. You know, I picked some oddballs here and there, but I, outside of the occasional one that I threw it to Rob to pick because I had nothing for that week, or he was like, hey, when are we going to get to this one? And I'm like, who the fuck is Ackercock? So I want to ask you guys, and I want you to be honest and true and really give me some constructive, I'm gonna stress the word constructive, criticism. What did you think of the selection of albums that I picked for review this year, Robert Cooper?
I liked it. I mean, they weren't all winners, but I mean, they're not always going to be winners. I mean, I'm sure I picked a few turds myself. Yeah, I mean, sometimes with the themes, it gets a little weird. Even though I admit I was doing a whole lot of work during the Transformers podcast.
Dude, you worked a lot this year. When summer rolled around, there were a couple stretches where we were wondering where Coop was going to be. Like, is he going to show up this week? Is he not going to be able to make it?
Yeah, it really was.
You were a hard-working man.
Yeah, this summer was interesting because I was going through chemo and you were gone. So those are some real fun shows where I was desperately trying to stay awake for the most part. I think there was a couple where the shows hit just an hour, and I'm like, "We're done, Jesse. Good night," because I couldn't stay up anymore.
It was rough. I can remember those days pretty well because we just moved in here, and I was sitting there thinking, we just moved into my new house, and I was like, man, I'm beat to shit, but I know Mark has got to be feeling way worse than I was, and he's still doing a podcast. So it's a testament to, going strong and sticking with it, man. Fucking shit. You did a show almost every day of the year here, so kudos to you for sure.
Yeah, I was even hospitalized one week, and I actually said to Jesse, I contemplated doing the show from my hospital bed, but I wasn't quite sure I could get all the shit together. to try to do it. Plus, I remember that hospital stay. The nurses were bothering me every 5 minutes. There was no fucking way I was going to be able to get a show done.
Hell
But I
no.
said, I'm going to get out of this hospital. It was actually the week I was supposed to do the cruise. I'm going to get out of this fucking hospital, and we're going to do body count, goddammit. We're doing it Friday night. And we did.
It will be in the
We did.
house, motherfucker.
It was in the house, motherfucker.
Which
There was no way I was skipping body count. No, the only show that got outright canceled and just never rescheduled, and actually didn't even make my top 4 this year, because it was just kind of it was fine. It just wasn't worth revisiting. Was Living Color. That show got outright canceled because I was in the middle of a hurricane, and then I was sequestered at work.
That's right.
All right.
I remember that. You were just like, oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm good this time. So, by the way, they had a Body Count's debut album at a used bookstore, which their CD prices were really fair. Their anime prices were dookie. A $20 DVD that I can get for $5 at Walmart. Huh?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, it's bad. But the reason I bring that up is it did not have Cop Killer.
Yeah, that's
didn't.
not available anymore. No. So shortly
That's the best
after
fucking song, man.
Shortly after the Rodney King riots, they took that album off the market and re-released it with like a Jello Biafra spoken word at the end.
Jello Biafra, your favorite.
Yeah. And yeah, basically I think that Warner Brothers was the label at the time, and they were like, yeah, we're re-releasing this album without Cop Killer, and we're scrubbing the Cop Killer tattoo from the guy's abdomen off of the album.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
took me a while to understand you said Jello Biafra. I thought it was Jello the Opera.
Jello the Opera.
Yeah, I was
Sounds
really
great.
confused, but I was like, well, all right, I could deal with it.
All right. I would love to start playing a track, but my mouse has lost the connection to my computer, so I'm going to stall here for a moment.
Vamp,
You don't-
vamp, vamp.
Yeah, vamp. So I will tell you that the first track I do want to play here tonight was I have a different way of approaching how I got to each one of these 4 tracks. I came to them in all different ways. This first one I discovered Xandria when I was looking for covers for the cover show, and they had done a cover of Meatloaf's I'll Do Anything for Love, which I played on the show, if you'll remember. Wasn't part of the competition, the one that Jesse stole from me unnecessarily. Still mad about that, by the way.
It was an honest mistake. Coop, you remember. It was an honest mistake. You were there.
You're such a
Yeah,
liar.
it
Get the
just
fuck outta
happened.
here.
I mean, it just, I really feel like it was just kind of unfortunate. It was a sad mark on our reputation, no pun intended.
Oh, good one.
Uh-huh. Anyway, but so having discovered that the band Xandria exists, I started listening to more of their stuff. I noticed they had released an album this year, and I gave it a listen. I ended up really liking it. I gave it another listen again, and I tried to find stuff from different genres to play, so it wasn't all like the same, the same kind of thing. And this is the one selection I got from the symphonic metal, power metal, opera metal type category. This is in the vein of Nightwish and whatnot. So as soon as my mouse comes back, I'll go ahead and play it. This is from their new album, which dropped earlier this year. The track is called We Are Murderers We Are, or We All rather. Okay, at this point, I don't know what else to say. I'm just fucking waiting for my mouse to turn back on again.
You want me to hop in there? I could hop into the studio real quick, and I should be able to hit play. Hold on just a moment. No, you guys go ahead and keep talking. Okay, so hold on a second. Go ahead and keep talking amongst yourself. I'll be in there in just a second. I'll let you guys know when I'm there.
Okay. I'll tell you, Rob, the number 25 on that Loudwire list was Gwar. Have you heard the new Gwar album this year?
I heard bits and pieces of it. I liked what I heard.
Yeah. I've never been a huge fan of Gwar. Like, I always thought they were a very gimmicky band, obviously, with all the costumes and blood and everything. And the music itself, I always thought was just kind of meh. But apparently this...
I was going to say, did you see where Calandris got to actually go see him this year? It was probably no more than a month or so ago he went and saw him. And I remember one of his status updates was, we just got farted on at a Gwar concert. Now, I almost asked him if he was talking about the musicians farted on him, because for some reason I could see that. I don't know why, but because they're an odd bunch.
Yeah, it's a little over the top there, stage show.
All right, I'm ready to rock and roll whenever you are, man.
All right, go ahead. If you could play for me, Xandria, We Are Murderers, We All.
Mark Radulich?
Yes, sir.
Xandria.
Yeah, I really like that song.
Yes,
it was
pretty good.
It was one of my favorites off the album. What did you think of it, Jesse?
Not bad at all, actually. I as soon as it hit, I was like, okay, I got to figure out if I've ever heard of these guys before. I don't think I've ever heard anything that they've done before. I was checking out their wiki there, and I think that I have grown a greater appreciation for female-led metal bands. As a matter of fact, one of my picks here is a female-led metal band. So here it seems like last year and this year, it seems like they could do no wrong. From what I've heard, there's been some few strong ones, and I don't know. I can't count in this moment. I'm just not going to do it. Sorry, but
No.
we've had some rather strong showings and throughout the year. So yeah, those guys are pretty. Xandria, I'll check out some more of their catalog for sure. Coop.
All right, well, hang on before you jump in, Coop. I finally have my mouse back. So the album came out January 27th. Let's see, what were we doing January? What was on the agenda? What did we think was
January.
important?
I'll tell you right now. I think it's in the running for top, at least top 3, maybe top 5, in my opinion, was Creator Gods of Violence. So.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
I
that was,
love that album.
Yeah, that was January.
Hang on. So it came out January 27th, 2017, and I'm looking at the calendar, which meant if it came out on the 27th of January, what also came out that day was Betraying the Martyrs and Creator Gods of Violence.
Mm-hmm.
And so the next available show that we could have done that, we ended up doing Creator. And then we followed up the Creator show. We followed up the Creator show with nothing because I was in the hospital.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say the next show was we put the cake out in the rain.
Yeah, the very next show that we did was 2 weeks later. That first show, I was in the hospital overnight, and I didn't get out until like Saturday night or whatever. So the next show that we did was Overkill, The Grinding Wheel, and then we followed it up with my friend's band, If He Dies.
The Cat Out in the Rain.
The Cat Out in the Rain. And by that point, a ton of other stuff had already come out that we needed to look at. So that was that. Also, We Are Murderers, We All was the first single that was released for this album, and it came out a month prior, December 16th, 2016. And I didn't discover them until we did the cover show, which was what, May?
I think so.
Yeah, it was.
I'm checking to see when it was.
I'm looking here just to see if our cover show.
May 17th, Covers 4, the rematch.
Yep, the rematch.
Yep. The last time I'm ever doing a cover show with you guys. I am done with
the fix
it
is
in. That's right, the fix was in. All right, let's move on to. Go ahead, Coop. Why don't you tell me what you thought of that Xandria track, and then we'll go into. You can just go right into explaining your track.
I don't even know which one is first, so that'll be great.
It's the Night Flight Orchestra.
Oh, fuck yes, I got a good story on that one. Yeah, Xandria, I've never heard of them before, which surprises me because they came out with an album in 2012, which was right in the middle of my time writing on 411. Really liked them. They kind of had a Epica vibe to me. I think it's maybe the vocals, the kind of operatic female vocals mixed with your occasional male grunts and growls. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I do have to say it's one that I might be going back to if I can remember that they exist. Because I decided to stay up last night until about 2:30 playing board games with my friends when I had work at 5 a.m.
Well done, sir.
Not a good idea.
I won that game of TV and movie trivia. It was worth it.
All right, tell us about the Night Flight Orchestra, Amber Galactic, which came out May 19th, 2017.
May 19th.
Wrestling reference.
Oh, God, everyone take a drink. Hang on. So we did not cover this one because, first of all, I was not aware of what a Night Flight Orchestra was. And second, that was the same day that the new Dragon Force came out, and that took top priority.
Yeah, I found out about this band while I was at the vet getting my cat Mini-Me. May he rest in peace.
Was he left out in the rain?
No, he couldn't poop anymore, so I eventually had to put him down.
Oh, jeez.
That's
That's horribly sad. That's
Well,
not
the
the way to go.
thing that still like breaks my heart is when they gave him the sedative. He freaked out because he was like, "Oh shit!" and then he went and ran into the carrier and hid. That still breaks my heart.
Aw.
He was such a good boy, but he couldn't poop anymore. So like, what are you fucking supposed to do? But anywho, he just got his butt plunged, and I was sitting there waiting to pick him up when Spotify was playing, and the Night Flight Orchestra came up with this song Gemini, and I am sitting fucking dancing in the middle of the vet. Like, I shit you not. Like, it is a fucking, the band is groovy. They've got a great groove to them. They're more of a progressive rock with sort of that classic edge to them than a metal band. But fun fact, it is done by members of Soilwork. So I guess we can let it through. But yeah, it's just fucking, it's groovy. The music video is really cool. It's got a nice 80s vibe to it. Great solos. Just overall real catchy work. Absolutely love it.
All right, let's hear it. This is Gemini by the Night Flight Orchestra.
Spoglądam w niebo w poszukiwaniu znaku.
Well, that had a very Rush vibe to it. That's pretty cool,
dude,
Rob.
That's the first thing I was thinking was Rush.
What a rush.
Well.
So, oh, by the way, y'all need to watch that music video. It's fucking Space Lesbians.
You shared it with us. I think that was something that you adamantly said we had to watch, if I remember correctly. So,
Probably,
you brought that up.
I've been obsessed with that song.
You was. That's fun stuff.
Oh, dude. Oh, when I was listening to it, doing chores around the house today, I was fucking dancing. And I can't dance, so it was just absolutely embarrassing and wonderful to watch all in one.
Formed in 2007 by Bjorn Strid. That's Speed. That's the guy. That's the lead singer of Soilwork, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a nice little addition here to the show. I want to read a couple of these top 25 albums here. Talked about Guar already. Number 24 is one that we covered, one that I insisted that we take a look at. One of Jesse's favorite bands, Cradle of Filth, Victoriana, The Seductiveness of Decay. That came in 24. Here's one that I am aware of. I know the band. I've listened to their albums. We just didn't get to it. It was one of those where, if nothing else had come out around that time, I might have put this one on the list. But I'm going to say this now, so I don't have to keep repeating myself. But if we missed something that I was into, it's only because there was too many other things around that time for us to cover, and there just wasn't time to get this on the schedule. What I'm talking about here is number 23, Municipal Waste, Slime and Punishment. Have you heard the new
Fucking love
Municipal
that band.
Waste? Yeah, they're a great little thrash metal band. I don't know if you haven't heard them, Jesse, give them a shot. Municipal Waste, Slime and Punishment, number 23 on this list. Definitely one that if we had had time, I would have absolutely loved to have talked about. Number 22 was Satyricon. Rob, anything?
I haven't listened to a new Satyricon album in a while. I find Nemesis Divina still to be their best album, which was one of their first ones. But I think maybe I should give some of their newer stuff a listen sometime.
This is called Deep Calleth Upon Deep, and it's number 22 here on the list from Napalm Records. They have a covers album allegedly scheduled for next year. We might actually cover that one just because we all know that I love the hashtag covers. This one we did look at because fucking Obituary. That's all I need to say. Obituary, number 21. That was a fun album.
I remember I saw them live.
Yeah, man. Well, Obituary is one of the kings of death metal.
They're live. They're one of those bands that I will say that they sound very much like the album. The one thing I was disappointed with is like crowd interaction. Not a lot of it, just pretty straightforward. Because Creator was all about the crowd interaction, which is nice and fun.
This one I've never heard of. Number 20, With Our Arms to the Sun, Orenda. Number 19, Godmother, Visceled, Metaconia. I've never heard of them either. And I'm going to stop here for now.
Fucking 2-year callback, I swear.
Here's one that we just covered in the month of December, a fun album. Just short enough to not get into samey territory, if I remember correctly. Number 18 on the list, The Cavalera Conspiracy, Psychosis. Yes, you remember that one from a week ago?
You remember that thing we did the other day?
I do.
You remember, Jesse?
Oh, I remember.
Oh, you remember. All right, Jesse. You got some fucking dance panique from some band whose name I can't pronounce. Go ahead.
All right. So, Termian, I can't pronounce it either, so it's not like I'm going to sit here and pretend. They're Termian Catalot, okay? I'm certain that I'm mispronouncing it. It basically, according to the wiki, says it literally stands for Midwives of Ruin. They're a Finnish industrial band, okay? So what you're going to be able to hear here is my favorite track off of this album, which somehow I just happened upon either through a Spotify radio station or one of those daily mixes that they put together. And I was like, I really enjoyed the song that they played for me. So I checked out the album. The name of the album is, just like you said, Dance Panique. And I was like, I'll give these guys a shot. And I was very, very impressed with the whole album itself. Now, the name of this song, again, most likely I'm going to be mispronouncing, but I believe it is, I'll just sound it like it's spoken in English, and that's Pinet.
I believe it's Pianat Piut.
Sure.
If I had to guess.
Well, let's see. Let's see if now the interesting thing about this, these guys are one of the few bands that produce an album completely outside of English that I really enjoy. It's hard for me to find those types of bands where something similar like Baby Metal, where we were able to listen to them, do their thing in a whole different language and actually enjoy it. These guys do the same thing for me. I'm able to listen to it, enjoy the whole thing, not cussing about the fact that I can't understand a damn word that they're saying. So other than that, Mark Radulich, if you want to hit the music, we'll see if we can make some sense of this stuff.
What the fuck?
I'm going to go ahead and take credit for that one, Jesse. That without me introducing you to bands like KMFDM, where that whole show, we just was like, and Jesse is another band I used to listen to in high school, Jesse. This is Front 242, and here's another band I used to listen to, and here's another, and another. What led you to discovering? When did you come across this group?
Again, I think it was completely random. Spotify just played it, and I'll tell you right now, the album, Coop, I could tell you were like, what the, well, obviously that's exactly what you said. It's what the fuck, because it sounds like it's going to start off all poppy and dancey, but then it gets heavy as shit. And I mean, most of there's what, like I think
That's
13
like shit
songs.
Ricks.
there is some. It gets heavy. I mean, there's some very, very thick industrial sound throughout this thing, throughout that whole album. But it does keep your head banging. And these guys have been around, according to this, since I think it was 2006. Their first album, 2004. Their first album, Heuterwehr, was released. So they've been around for a little bit. But I'll tell you right now, again, I was impressed with the whole album. So, yeah, Mark Radulich, I'll gladly give you credit for that, man.
They had a very Rammstein vibe to them, which is not a bad thing. All right, Jesse, we're going to go ahead. That was the end of round one.
Okay.
We'll start up round two in a second. You want to go ahead and do your crazy list thing?
Oh, yeah, let's do the crazy list thing. So, Coop, you're going to go first, all right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to list basically it's January through March, pretty much, or most of March, and I want you to pick two albums off of this list that you enjoyed above the rest of the group. Okay. Okay. Here we go. All right. Sepultura, Machine Messiah, Firewind, Immortals, Creator, Gods of Violence, Overkill. One. What's that?
I said, yeah, that one.
Okay. So I'll put a little mark by that one. Creator, Gods of Violence, Overkill, The Grinding Wheel, excuse me. If He Dies, Beneath the Waves. Now, Mark, are we going to count that? I can't remember. Did they release that before 2017?
I'm going to allow it because it ended up on my list. So we'll just go ahead and say yes.
Okay, all right. Iron Reagan, Crossover Ministry. See, that's a band I completely forgot about.
I love Iron Reagan so much. Your kid's an asshole.
Fuck the neighbors. Dude, fuck the neighbors still gets lots of play in my house.
Fuck your fucking yard.
And now we're going to leave this one off here. So, we're not going to count Entombed Wolverine Blues because that came out back in the 90s. Darkest Hour, Godless Prophets and the Migrant Flora, Obituary, and Steel Panther. Rounding it out, Steel Panther, Lower the Bar.
Ooh, it's definitely between Iron Reagan and Obituary.
Can I just tell you what my two are based on that list, or am I getting a different list?
No, you get. We all get to pick. So, what's your pick?
Okay. Yeah, fuck it. Obituary. That's mine.
Okay. Well, you got Creator. You're going to take Creator and Obituary.
Okay, and I will take Creator.
I saw both of them live in the same night.
Okay.
I will vote for Creator and Steel Panther.
All right. And myself, hold on a second here. Creator. And Steel Panther. Yeah, Creator's going absolutely. And I want to say, man, there are a couple of things off of Darkest Hour that I kind of enjoyed, but I'm going to go with Steel Panther as well. So,
Woo!
Steel Panther.
Hang Boomerang.
Some great stuff. And, all right. So there's our top two for the top two, and we'll continue until we get 10. So go ahead, Mark.
All right, here we go. This next track, I know Robert Cooper is going to love. He's going to take his pants off and jacket. I can tell you. The band is called Butcher Babies, and this is definitely.
God fucking damn it! They've got tits. That's their gimmick. They've got tits.
And what marvelous tits they've got. Let me tell you.
Yeah, they were in Playboy.
This was one of those bands where I didn't know. I knew they existed, like them and the Hollywood Undead. Their names pop up a lot.
Oh, Hollywood Undead. Did you just really invoke their name?
They almost made the list. So I compiled a list of like 20,
I would have thrown my phone through the fucking window. I compiled a list of about 20 some odd albums, and then listened to as many of them as I could get through, and then whittled that list down to. And originally it was 5, and I'll tell you why I whittled it down to 4 after that to play for the show tonight. And I really, really liked the Butcher Babies album. It's one of those where if I had known about it when it came out back in, oh gosh, when did Lilith come out? October 27th, which at the time we were doing, let's see.
What was the date?
October 27th.
Okay, I could tell you here. We did, we had Marilyn Manson, Heaven Upside Down, and then Stray from the Path, I think, was the 25th. Stray from the Path,
yeah, well,
Death is Real.
I'll tell you exactly why we didn't do it. If it came out on the 27th, the show that came, the November 1st show was our Halloween show. That was Motorhead Undercover.
Ah, yeah.
And then we followed that, and then the next week was, my calendar. The next week was Thor week. Wait, hang on. The next week was Thor week, and then Rob's show was Ackercock, and then we were into Thanksgiving at that point, so there really was no room on the schedule for it. But in retrospect, I'm kind of disappointed we didn't get to it because I thought it was a really great album. And it checked all my boxes. It's very aggressive. I dig the chick thing, as a metal gimmick. I don't know. I'll be curious to see what you think, Jesse. It's hard to sometimes peg your opinion on things. You're a little all over the map for me. I know Rob's gonna love it. As you heard, he's very excited. This is Burn the Straw Man by Butcher Babies from the album Lilith.
Burn the straw man. Light a match and watch it burn. Burn the
right. I anxiously await your verdict, sir.
Oh my goodness. Well, I can tell you that they sound pretty tough. And I'll tell you right now, Google Images. Oh my goodness.
Did you have Safe Search on?
Wow.
It's a good thing Jesse's
Dude,
in his basement.
they perform with no. These chicks perform with no shirts on. I mean, there's
All right.
no shirt on,
Hang on.
and there's.
Hang on. Let me get there because I didn't do an image search.
Dude,
right. What am I looking at here?
They have no shirt on. They just got black tape
goodness.
over their nips.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
kidding, man.
I think they
Are you
stopped
on
doing that, if I'm not mistaken.
modernfix.com?
I just
'Cause that's what
hit
I'm looking
Google
at.
Images, bro. Just Google
Okay.
Images.
But I'm saying, but that pic is from Modern Fix, isn't it?
There's like yes, that's it. That's
Okay.
it. You got it.
Yeah. All right. Well, now my goal now is to go see these girls live in concert.
You need to, and I want a full report.
Oh,
I
you
think they
got it,
stopped
buddy.
doing that, actually.
Have they?
What's that, Coop?
Oh,
I think they stopped doing the nipple tape thing.
boo.
They don't need to do. This is a gimmick that I can get behind, sir. I
Yeah,
can get
oh.
behind
This
this
is a gimmick I fucking roll my eyes at every time.
Here's one of
No.
Here's one of them.
Coop.
You know, fuck can. Here's one of them wearing a wife beater that says "fuck cancer." I'm all about this band now.
Jeez.
So
I'm
okay,
sold.
so obviously we are. Oh my God, Jesse, there's a Butcher Babies comic.
No way.
Oh, God damn
Come
it.
on.
Comic book
I hate
realm.
it.
Butcher Babies, Deep Cut Productions. I swear
Holy
to Rudy,
shit,
I'm
there
looking
is.
at it.
What?
We might need to discuss this.
Ronnie Adams' favorite band.
Oh, God.
You said you wanted to do a comic related to. Oh, by the way, at some point next year, we got a request from Pat Mullen to do a Kiss retrospective. So I'm thinking we'll do a joint source material Metal Hammer of Doom thing where we'll do the retrospective, but we'll also do one of the Kiss comics.
That'd be awesome. I cannot believe
Amazon.com, Butcher Babies. I guess the
Deep
comics
Cut
available.
Production.
Butcher Babies comic.
It's got to be just like number one because I see no number 2 issue here. I will have to go. Coop, why you don't like the gimmick? What's going on? Why are you so upset?
I was never a fan of the gimmick. Listening to them more, I don't like OTEP. I've never liked OTEP. They just the beginning reminded me so much of OTEP. God, that woman's so fucking obnoxious. It kind of reminded me of a mix of, like a mix of OTEP and, in a way, Corey Taylor's vocals and Slipknot. Kind of the middle, like early middle Slipknot, where he had where he had kind of the aggressive yelling and the screaming. Kind of reminded me of that. I didn't mind that as much. I just kind of found them generic. They're just not my thing. I don't know. They're hot. I mean, I'll give them that. I mean, yeah, they're very attractive young women.
Agreed.
Wow, apparently
Young women.
there is only one one book of this, and it's $20.
$20. Yeah, I just hopped on the comicbookrealm.com just to check and look and see. But I guarantee you how many pages, well, they don't even have that listed. But I don't know if that's the the cover price is $19.99. So it's probably a larger size issue / graphic novel. But yeah, if we can get our hands on it.
Yeah.
In stock trades. In stock trades.
Yeah, that's my favorite website. Thank you, Josh
buddy.
Calandros.
He is the man.
Butcher Babies. This whole show has come to a halt.
Titties will do that.
Yeah. We like our titties.
If-
We like our titties on the Metal Hammer. You know what's funny? Every time I try to look at I Amazon or
Look at
in stock
titties?
trades, and I type in Butcher Babies, I get Thor, God of Thunder, God Butcher.
Good story. but not the one we're looking for.
Butcher Babies comic. All right. Someone needs to discuss something else while I obsess over this.
Oh, boy.
All right. So next, Coop, why don't you try to rescue the show from the cleavage of the Butcher Babies and talk about Pallbearer?
Oh yeah, the exact opposite of fucking Playboy models that have their own little metalcore band. Yeah, Pallbearer, they are a band when it was in 2014 when I was like, all right, I was still holding on to that I'm going to write about metal thing. Yeah, I made like 10 albums into that year before I gave up. But Pallbearer was one of the bands that I listened to, and I really enjoyed them. Coming into this year, I almost forgot they had a new album until I bought it off eBay a few weeks ago. And I have to say, they're exactly what I love. Mark would outlove them. They're doom metal. They've got doom metal with the kind of the more operatic vocals to them. Not like your Tarja operatic, but more like I'd say like a Robert Lowe. He's the third singer of Candlemass. I don't expect anybody to get that. But yeah, let's say like a really high range, but kind of like a mid range, but still really kind of bright and kind of sort of sunny vocals in a way. But they're a really fucking killer band. I keep coming back to them over and over. They're, in terms of a doom metal fix, I think they're a really good one if you ask me.
All right, let's give it a whirl here. This is Pallbearer. So I Saw the End. Clean vocals on that. That actually came in at number 5 on the Loudwire 25 best metal albums of 2017. We'll go back through some of the ones that preceded it, but that apparently it was a well-liked album, very well reviewed. I was looking at the list of accolades. It was number 18 in the United States, Consequence of Sound, top 50 albums. It was ranked 18. Decibel, top 40 albums. It was ranked number 3. Loudwire, number 5, as I said. Metal Hammer, number 13 out of 100.
No relation.
It was number 2 on the Pop Matters list. Number 1 on the Quietest. Rolling Stone ranked it number 6 of 20. And Stereo Gum, 25 of 50. So high praise coming for Paul Bearer, Heartless, which came out March 24th.
No relation to The Undertaker.
Paul Bearer!
Undertaker!
And my mouse has died again.
Oh, no!
Jesse, what did you think of that one?
Some good stuff. Some doomy, slower stuff, felt like. I mean, I can't really say that I've heard of those guys before, so it was nice to actually get a little bit of a sample. Does most of their stuff sound like that right there, Coop, or is there anything that's a little bit faster, or are we just talking kind of slower paced?
The second song that they had called Thorns was a lot heavier. Unfortunately, we stopped before the solos, which, I mean, they're not fucking shredding, but they're really well-constructed solos, I feel. They're the best solos. They're very good. Yeah, I really enjoy them, and their album covers are always really neat. They kind of, I don't know, they almost invoke.
This one's got a very Zeppelin feel to it.
Yeah, it's got like a Zeppelin feel. I almost wanted to say some of their older ones kind of not. I'm not gonna say. I want to say they invoked like advanced Dungeons and Dragons to me, but it's more in just overall layout, not necessarily theme.
All right.
I fucking love them though.
Yep. I would love to have told you why we couldn't get to it in March. I want to say I just had it up a minute ago. I wish I could reference it, but again, my mouse has died. But the week that we could have covered it, the week after March 24th, that was actually Rome week, when in Rome week. So we were doing Ex Dio, which was another one of your requests, if I remember correctly. Is you had said, hey, I want to do. You had named like 2 albums, one of which was the Ex Dio. I gave it a whirl and said, hey, I'm going to base an entire week around this, and we did. So remember when in Rome week, Jesse?
Absolutely, we covered. Oh man, now I can't even remember the name of it. Was some kind of Roman
Pax
comic.
Romana.
Pax Romana. There we go. Pax Romana on source material and Ex Dio, The Immortal Wars. That album really surprised me. Made me want more.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was surprisingly good. I have to say, Robert, sometimes like you pick stuff and I'm like, oh, here we go. It's all going to be Cookie Monster vocals, and and it's going to be this. It's going to be the slowest sludge that ever slimed the earth. And I have to say, I'm going to give you credit. You picked some real dandies this year. Some really excellent albums. So good for you, Jesse.
Thank you, sir.
Since I am still waiting for my mouse to reconnect to the computer, Metal Hammer of Doom, because if there isn't a fuck up, it's not a Metal Hammer of Doom show. I'm going to go ahead and introduce the next track, and then be prepared
all right.
to play it.
Yeah, I'm in the studio. I can introduce the next track and then hit play, so we should be good. Well, this next track I threw on my list because I think I shared it with you guys. It combined my 2 favorite guys that I talk to almost every week, Robert Cooper, Mark Radulich. This is off of the album. Hold on a second. Now I have my Spotify. I think it's called The Lost Chapters. The Lost Chapters. All right. This is Josta, Howard Jones, chasing.
Where's Josta from? Let's tell the audience in case they don't know.
Oh, Hatebreed. One of my favorite bands now. Yes, Hatebreed.
Because what is the time to do, Jesse?
Time to murder it, sir. I believe.
All right. Yes. It is time to murder it.
All right. I'm going to hit play. Here we go. This is Chasing Demons.
Every time we mention Howard Jones on this show, I keep thinking Howard Shore, the guy that conducted the music for the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
The fuck?
I'm sorry. Not a mistake that I make.
I think of every time my dad used to be like, Howard Jones, the singer from the 80s?
Yeah.
So everyone was like, Jamie Justin, the dude from Lord of the Rings. That's an odd combo. No, it's the dude from Killswitch Engage.
It would be something very interesting to hear if we heard that. Jamie Justin.
I'm so irritated. I need there to be like a monorail that connects Florida to Ohio and North Carolina. I don't need you guys to move down here. You have families and children and girlfriends and cats to deal with. And I'm not saying upend your life to accommodate.
I don't have a girlfriend, but I have plenty of cats.
There's a collective things there. And I'm saying I'm not asking anyone to upend their life to accommodate the occasional concert that I need to go to, but I literally have no one to go to concerts with. And my wife has fucking 2018, the year she put her foot down and said, that's it. I'm not going to these shitty metal shows anymore with you. I'll go to the ones where I actually like the band. But she's just like, she's like, make a friend for fuck's sake. Go meet go take somebody who is into metal. Yeah, my mouse came back. Take somebody who's into metal and go see, because I want to go see Creator and Sabaton, and literally like nobody will go see that show with me. Like I tried to take this girl that I work with to go with me, and she's not into metal. It's just not at all. She was like, well, what's one of their songs? And stupid me goes, oh, one of the Creator songs, World War Now. What was the Satan one?
Satan is real.
Yeah, I just blurted out in the middle of work. I was like, oh, one of Creator's really great songs, Satan is Real. And she was like, get away from my desk. So she's out.
You should just hit her with a Phantom Antichrist, Banner of Hate.
No, none of that was going to get me where I needed to go. Satan is Real was really that was the high point there. Yeah. So I want to go see Creator and Sabaton, and my choices are don't go or go by myself. And then even Anthrax and Killswitch Engage, I would have liked to have gone to see. Yeah, but who the fuck am I going with? Nobody. And that's one where I've seen Anthrax a bunch of times. I don't know if it's worth it to go by myself. So that's my tale of woe.
I came this close to going to a concert with Mark Radulich, and then I'll be damned if the damn cancer didn't hit. What was it? The cancer that hit, or something happened where you couldn't make it up here, We were all going to
Yeah,
go.
they
Me,
changed-
you, and Calandris were going to hit Pittsburgh and go watch Clutch
Yeah, it
and
was-
Primus.
Well, that all worked out for me in the end because I ended up going to see Primus and Clutch separately. But yeah, basically the reason why I didn't go to Pittsburgh was they changed my cancer treatment to where I at that time I would have been getting my second dose of like all weekend, like 3 day in a row cancer treatments plus Mondays where I had to go turn in my pump, which I had to wear home after I got chemo all day. We were also fucking dead broke at the time. We're doing good now. Like we're going into 2018 with a pretty huge savings, just from some choices that I made and some good luck that we finally fucking had from this shitty year. But yeah, I'm angry at 2017. But but at the time, but in, like over the summer though, we were like
It was
we were not doing well. But anyway, go ahead and I was Chasing Demons. What did you think of that one there, Rob?
I did not know Jamie Josta had more solo work. I feel like Jamie Josta and Howard Jones make a weird couple because Jamie Josta is really intense. He's got those hardcore vocals. And then Howard his voice is almost melancholic in a way. It's soothing yet melancholic, and I don't quite know how well it works. I mean, it'd probably grow on me. I love Howard Jones. But it was weird. I liked it, but it was weird, which is what most girls say about me, so I'll take it.
All right, Jesse, list time. Hit it.
All right, here we go. Now, we're heading into March through pretty much the end of May. And there are some doozies on this list. So, Mark, you get to pick first, and then Coop, and then I'll pick. Here we go. Body Count, Bloodlust.
That one.
Mastodon, Emperor of Sand. We ain't done yet, man. We just got started. Mastodon, Emperor of Sand.
No, but I'm done. Body Count.
Zombie Motors, Wrecking Yard, Supersonic Rock and Roll. XDO, The Immortal Wars. I got to do this like Mark Radulich does. Life of Agony, A Place Where There's No More Pain.
I feel like you're making fun of my accent.
We'd
Don't you understand,
never
Jesse
do
Starcher,
that,
A Place
Mark.
Where There's No More Pain.
We'd never do that, Mark. I don't know what you're talking about.
We don't say no goat whore. Places no more pain. Yeah.
Goat whore.
Goat whore.
Vampire with Primeval Force. We had our covers show. And then Dragon Force, Reaching into Infinity. All right. And finally, Ailstorm, No Grave
All right,
But
body
the
count.
Sea.
Yeah, let's not waste fucking time here. Body Count and Ailstorm.
That's what I'm going with, too. Coop?
Vampire. And then,
He votes for his own show.
Yeah. Hey, I fucking love Vampire. And then
it was a good
remember,
album.
it taught us very important things about vampires. And then, fucked with an anchor.
Ailstorm. All right.
All right. So before we get to round 3 here, we were up to 17. I want to read the next 10 on here. I don't know who any of these. Rob, speak up if you've heard of these, or you're like, yeah, I wish we'd gotten to them. Replace here. Do Not Deviate. Number 16.
Nope.
King Woman, created in the image of suffering.
No.
15. Trivium, The Sin and the Sentence. And I think my issue with not doing this one was there just wasn't time. I think I think by this point we had loaded the schedule so much that I had to knock Trivium off the list because originally I think it was on. Paradise Lost, Medusa, Immolation, Atonement. Number 12.
I fucking love Immolation.
Elder, Reflections of a Floating World, who I have never heard of.
I like
Shit,
Elder.
number 11. Number 1 with a bullet on this show. Fucking Body Count.
Body Count,
Body
motherfucker.
Count. Body Count's in the house.
Body count. Body count.
Yeah.
That last album was good. Bloodlust was so good. I mean,
Yeah,
there was
it was.
a lot that there wasn't much missing off of there that we could say. I think the hardest time we gave it was the fact that we believed that Ice-T. Well, we didn't believe Ice-T sometimes when he was it was just hard to
Robin
take
Ham
seriously.
sandwich. Ham
Yeah, the
sandwich.
one song where he's just like, I'm fucking, shooting people and robbing liquor stores. I'm like, no, you're not. Stop it. Number
Ham
10,
sandwich.
Number 10, Bell Witch, Mirror Reaper. And so we'll take a break
Yep.
from this and come back to it in a little bit. All right, this next one, we didn't cover this album because it's a compilation. We don't do compilations typically, new compilations, I should say, typically on this show. But like last year, it's a great place to find a single because a lot of bands, they'll release a best of, but they'll throw some new stuff on there, like a cover or something. And in the case of Five Finger Death Punch, they released A Decade of Destruction, actually a little less than a month ago, December 1st. And they put on a new track, which we're going to hear tonight. It's called Trouble. And they also included a cover called Gone Away, which is an Offspring song. And the remaining ones are all from their various albums. We'll come back to Five Finger Death Punch later in 2018. They've got a new album. Stop it. They've got a new album dropping in May, which once I get a date on that, we'll talk about it. So here we go. This actually dropped as a single on October 27th. This is Trouble by Five Finger Death Punch. Rob Cooper's favorite band.
I don't look for trouble, trouble looks for me. That's how it's always been, that's how it's gonna be. I'm looking down on you, you're looking up to me. I never saw you coming, you never saw me. I can't explain who I am, 'cause there's no excuse. This is who I'm meant to be. There's no regret. I don't care if you believe. There's no excuse. This is who I choose to be. I don't look for trouble. Trouble looks for me.
All right. I mean, that's a Five Finger Death Punch song. I don't think there's any debate about that.
Did I tell you I crushed one of my coworkers who was trying to find common ground with me? He's like, bro, because he's kind of a douche, bro. I almost went off on him today because I asked him hey, what's the item number on that? He goes, you're pitiful. I'm like, excuse me, motherfucker.
Damn.
Ooh.
Oh, I was hot. Which I just let it go. I just let it fucking
Calling
let it
him a
go. He's like,
motherfucker.
yeah, in my head. I didn't say it out loud.
Oh,
I ain't gonna deal with that shit. Oh, fuck you. No, I'm not gonna deal with that. I'm not gonna deal with that shit. He was whiny because he was on his cell phone all day trying to fix something on it instead of working. I want to be that cool one day. I can make fucking $20 an hour by doing nothing. Anywho, he's like, I don't really listen to metal, but he's like, but the closest thing I get to is Five Finger Death Punch. And he's like, takes a swig of water. I'm like, I goddamn hate that band. And you just watch him kind of stop, and the water just dribbles down his chin, defeated. He was like, what do you mean? I'm like, they're so fucking douchey. He's like, oh, man, what do you mean they're douchey? I'm like, what? I mean, their music's simplistic. It speaks to more or less a primal urge. I'm like, and Ivan Moody's a fucking tool bag. And he was like, well, what about all they do for the military? I said, I don't give a fuck about that.
Hey, fuck
Damn.
them people.
Like,
Nice,
yeah,
Rob.
like they were. Yeah, he was just like,
Way to
everybody's
fucking
like,
break
damn.
way to fucking break this guy's heart, by the way.
Oh, I did. Like, he was trying. He was trying to find common ground with me, and I just thought it was so fucking funny.
You're like,
'Cause
you're
then I
not
was
fucking
talking
having it. You're like,
Well, because he,
no, fuck you and the horse you rode in on, Pally.
well, he's just sitting there. He's like, I was like, I went to Cannibal Corpse. He goes, oh, what shit's that? He's one of those like, he's like, that one day I was actually talking about karaoke. He's like, bruh. I'm like, yeah, I don't fucking do that karaoke, you toolbox. But we do have a guy that goes to our karaoke, the bar we go to, and does do that, and he's not good at it. He has a really awful, like, yell. Ugh. And he does, like, It's Raining Men.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So Jesse, let me ask you, what did you think of the Five Finger Death Punch song?
I can't wait for the album to drop. I can't wait
I'm
to talk
sure
about
you
it with
can.
Cooper. It's going to be a fun show.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. This Robert Cooper fucking chokes back, wanting to scream and yell on the show.
Yeah, I think I actually heard that single. It was probably about a month or so ago. That they popped it up on one of those playlists again, and I was like, "Oh, is this a new Five Finger Death Punch?" So, how long has it been since their last album?
Got
Like
Your
2,
Six.
3 years?
Got Your Six came out. Let's see here. I can tell you.
I really like Got Your Six.
It was 2 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, I was impressed with Got Your Six. There's quite a few songs on there that I enjoyed.
Yeah,
I
Got
don't
Your
know much
Six
about
was
their
really
early
heavy.
stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
dude, The Way of the Fist and War Is the Answer were like my two top like running albums. Like I could have listened to those just straight through. You know, when I was deep into running, that was those were both like high up on my playlist.
Mhm. Good stuff. It'll be fun to talk about. Can't wait.
Indeed. I know Rob can't wait.
He's got an advent calendar counting down the days, just like Christmas.
Yeah, I'm like a fucking serial killer. I just carved the fucking days into my chest.
You're hard as
Okay.
fuck, Robert Cooper.
I feel like that's a
Hey,
bit
damn
grim
straight.
for the topic. So you want to tell us about Paradise Lost, sir? You creepy motherfucker, you.
Hey, you know, that was on the Loudwire Top 25. If you did notice, maybe you didn't
was
notice.
it?
I don't know.
Paradise
Uh-huh.
Lost? Yeah, it was,
Medusa.
it was some... That's right. That's right. Yes, it was. Number 14.
I love Paradise Lost. Since their last two albums, and I really, I feel like I think Nick Holm is the vocalist in this band. He joined Bloodbath in 2013, I think, after Mike Ackerfeld left again to go make more 70s prog rock and Opeth. Still so disappointed in that. Like, 70s prog rock is cool and all, but like leave it to the professionals. Like go do death metal, which I know he doesn't care for death metal, which is why he left Bloodbath. But seriously, just anyhow, yeah. So with their last album, I think it was Beneath Broken Earth, if I'm not mistaken. I know that was the title track off, or that was the main single off of it. That was a return to their old style. They started out as kind of a death doom sort of band, and actually kind of started veering more towards, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was an industrial side. I'll have to look into it just to make sure I'm correct. But yeah, their music definitely veered off in a way. They were still metal. They were still heavy. It's just it was not the death metal that they started out with. And their last album went back to this, and this album continues it. I love Paradise Lost. I find their music really catchy. I really love the guitar work. I was actually reading the guy on 411, because they have like one music columnist left. Those poor bastards. And he did his like top 120 albums of the year or something, which I think just almost like was a roundup of his reviews his album reviews throughout the year, and him just putting them in an order. But he said that he found the album kind of it was good, but the lyrics were cheesy, and I'm like, and who doesn't love a little cheese?
I love lots of
Right.
cheese. All right, we ready to do this?
Yeah.
This is
I'm ready
Blood
to eat
and...
the cheese, man.
Oh, no. This is Blood and Chaos by Paradise Lost. Dude, holy shit, that's awesome. Oh, now I'm depressed we never got to it. That had a groove to it that I really like. Good for you, Coop.
Thank you. And actually, I was incorrect. It wasn't industrial. It was actually gothic metal.
I was going to say, hey, Jesse, do you remember, Jesse? Do you remember when we listened to the Sisters of Mercy?
Are you doing Tommy Wiseau? Is that the impression you're doing?
No, he's doing the member berries from South Park.
Okay, yeah. I don't watch South Park, so I'm sorry, I don't get the reference, but I do remember. What do I remember?
Do you remember when we listened to the Sisters of Mercy?
I do, as a matter of fact.
That was very Sisters of Mercy-ish.
Yeah, I could feel the goth there for sure. I mean, it's kind of obvious. It's kind of obvious.
Feel the goth.
I can feel the goth. But no, Coop, when you had me grab these songs, this was the one that stood out to me that I liked the most. And I watched the video too, and I was this is some pretty heavy stuff. Did you watch the video? I know you just threw me the links, or not the links, but the titles. Have you watched the video for this song?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, this is the one where there's like a blackout going on, and right, and like there's like, I don't know, there's one guy just sitting there, and all of a sudden he's attacked from behind. I hope I'm not getting that confused with another one of these songs, but I was digging it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. That was a great addition.
Thank you. Yeah, they're fucking awesome. Actually, their last album, because I was Googling it, is actually The Plague Within. Fucking awesome album title.
All right, Jesse, let's round out round 3 here with your now Fireball Ministry. That's a stoner rock band, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Yeah. They've been around for a while. I remember listening to them. Well, I think the last album they dropped prior to this was 2010, I want to say. So it's been quite a long time since I've heard from them. But everything that they've ever played, I've enjoyed. Like, I usually enjoy every single song on the albums that they have out there. So yeah, Fireball Ministry, self-titled album, dropped March 16th, 2010, and October 6th of 2017 Remember the Story. So this has been 7 years in the making. And these guys, they're fun. They're fun to listen to. Have you ever heard these guys before? You may not know much about them there, Mark, but have you ever listened? Have you ever happened upon anything
like
Fireball Ministry before?
Yeah, I think years ago I did. I don't remember a whole lot about them, but I'm aware of who they are, and I'm pretty sure I've listened to some of them.
The Fireball Ministry self-titled album is probably one of the best albums that they have. I mean, they've only got 5 albums to their name, but top to bottom, everything's great. So, needless to say, when Spotify sends me a message and says that there was a single that these guys had dropped, I was like, oh man, are they getting ready to release an album? Sure enough, they did. It's called Remember the Story. And if you like kind of like stoner rock, similar to Clutch, you will most likely enjoy what you hear coming from Fireball Ministry. What was the band, Dunsmuir? It was Dunsmuir, where I think Dunsmuir had, I want to say it was one of either the guitarist or drummer from Fireball Ministry, of course, wrapped up with our good friend from Clutch there, Neil, and that was supposedly a power band, and unfortunately that album. Have you listened to that album since we covered it? Have you listened to Dunsmuir at all?
Nope. No.
So
it's a big negatory, Big Ben.
So, but anyway, yeah. So the song that we got here, which I believe is the single they dropped, "The Answer," which my son Caleb loves this video. It's about this guy, I think, who catches his wife cheating on him, and he ends up getting shot, and he runs he's like in a car going across the desert, and he can't escape this like spectral biker death looking guy. He just keeps appearing and reappearing, and by the end of the video, I think he just accepts his fate, and they both get in the car and drive off laughing. So it's an interesting concept for a video. But please, sir, hit it. Let's hear what Fireball Ministry has brought to us.
Ladies and gentlemen, The Answer by Fireball Ministry. Pretty good stuff there. Nice little harmony. Yeah, not bad. Very good pick, Jesse.
All right.
Yeah, I fucking dug that. I think I have a Fireball Ministry album in my house.
Ooh, I'm curious as to which one it is, because there's some good ones. I mean, I don't expect you to go looking for it. You can if you want.
My funeral, right?
I could tell you that, like I said, most of everything that I've heard from these guys, I've enjoyed. I can tell you also, Remember the Story kind of misses the mark for me. especially coming off of that self-titled from 2010. I was really hoping 7 years will give them plenty of time to come up with some really kick-ass tunes. And unfortunately, this album is kind of front-loaded with a lot of great stuff, and then it kind of gets, I don't want to call it samey, but it just kind of gets, it isn't as impactful as some of the other stuff that I've heard.
All right, so finishing off the Loudwire Top 25, we have Converge at number 9, The Dusk in Us. Here's an album that we covered, and this was a really fun show because we gimmicked it up. Cannibal Corpse, Red Before Black, and we took time to review every album cover.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Yes, that's the only thing that topped that was Jesse and I talking about Cradle of Filth. What an uncomfortable show that was. Number 7, Enslaved, E. Number 6,
see, that's what we forgot.
Yep, Zeal and Ardor, The Devil is Fine. Again, Paul Bearer. All right, here's one that we covered. It's going to be on one of Jesse's lists in a moment to talk about. Dying Fetus, Wrong One to Fuck With. Hell yeah, buddy.
Here's the album. Al Es La Rock.
Ah, that's the first one. Yeah. Some good
Number
stuff.
3.
Oh, that was a fucking bitch to dig out.
Number 3, Code Orange. This Code Orange album came out right at the beginning of the year, and it was really on my list of ones to keep in mind for the year-end show, and just the year got in the way of remembering that. Mastodon, Emperor
I almost
Fan.
nominated him.
And here's one that we're gonna hear the number 1 album this year, according to Loudwire, is actually a band that Robert's going to play next for us in just a few minutes. We're going to do mine first and then Robert's. And that's Power Trip, Nightmare Logic. We'll come back to that momentarily. Jesse, hit us with your list, baby doll.
All right. We're going to do 2 real quick because we've got 3 left. So let's do 2. We're going to finish our tracks, and then we'll finish out the lists here. So okay, here we go. We're going from June to about the beginning of August. All right. All right. Metal Hammer of Doom, Dream Evil 6. All right. Then that
was a really forgettable album.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
Wait a second. It gets better, ladies and gentlemen. We're not done. Following that up with Nickelback, Feed the Machine.
Oh,
wait a minute now. Did you hang on a minute? What? Did you say Nickelback?
Nickelback! I wouldn't give you a penny back!
Oh.
Absolute shite! Crap! Feces!
Listenable.
Boy, that has got a lot. That one album, for those reasons, has got a lot of play on this show.
That's for damn sure. All right. So Nickelback, Feed the Machine. We then did our Transformers, the movie, so that does not count. The original motion picture soundtrack, although that was some epic music we got to talk about. Next up, Iced Earth, Incorruptible. And then we have Power Flow, with their self-titled Power Flow. Dying Fetus, Wrong One to Fuck With. In This Moment, Ritual.
No.
Unleash the Archers, Apex. And then Ronnie Adams' favorite band, Mark Radulich, Goat Whore. Vengeful Ascension. So, Coop, I'm going to let you go here first, and then I'm going to go. No, wait a second. Let me go first because I want you to be surprised, Coop, because I'm picking my 2 right now. All right.
All right.
Unleash the Archers, Apex. One of the, I think, top 5 in my opinion for sure, out of everything we've done all year. And number 2, there's some stuff I don't like on this list. Dream Evil 6.
Yeah.
Power Flow. Power Flow had so much promise. Go ahead.
I was gonna say these were the dog days of summer, if I remember correctly. Dude, I did if you'll remember, I did the In This Moment show. I was I want to say I was really sick during this period. This is when they had just changed me over to the rice treatment as opposed to whatever I was doing first. And yeah, I bailed out of a bunch of source materials. I was really messed up, and I remember I did the In This Moment show at my in-laws' house in bed with the lights off.
Oh wow!
Yeah. You had to run the board for me and I just dialed in on my phone, and I just laid there in the dark talking about a shitty album.
God, I hated that fucking album so much.
It keeps popping up. Like Spotify seems to think for some reason I need to listen to, what is the name of that song? Oh Lord or Oh God or something.
Right.
Anyway, I'm sick of it. Anyway, I'm going to have to go with as unimpressive. I say unimpressive. It's still a decent album. I'm going to go with Iced Earth, Incorruptible, out of the rest of this stuff because you guys probably know my feelings on Dying Fetus and Goat Whore.
Go Whore.
Yeah.
But Unleash the Archers was clearly a top one in my opinion. I listened to that album legitimately at least 50 times this year because it's a great story and great music from start to finish. So, Coop, what's your two off of that list?
Dying Fetus.
Okay.
And, of course, Unleash the Archers.
Okay. All right, Mark Radulich.
Which Mark never listened to, because that's his fault.
Yeah, it's my fault.
It is his fault. Damn it.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't pick Goat Whore. And Dying Fetus.
All right. Okay. Real quickly, we'll go through the next list, and then we'll get to our tracks. Here we go. We're going from the middle of August all the way to about the middle of October. So we have Accept, The Rise of Chaos. KMFDM, Hell Yeah. The Haunted, Strength in Numbers. Quiet Riot, Road Rage. Do you remember that one? My
sure
gosh.
do.
That was...
I do.
Road Rage. Yes, easily. Prophets of Rage, self-titled album.
They fly over.
They fly over.
Arch Enemy, Will to Power. Primus, The Desaturating Seven. Cradle of Filth, Cryptoriana, The Seductiveness of Decay. And Marilyn Manson, Heaven Upside Down. Mark Radulich, you choose two, sir.
I'm going to go with The Haunted and Arch Enemy.
Okay. Arch Enemy. Coop? There were a couple on here that you weren't. I know you weren't present for. I really wish you were present for Prophets of Rage. Oh my gosh.
Why, you think I'd have had a fucking field day with the flying over?
Dude, not just that. I mean, the fun fact that we got to listen to a pro-marijuana song, and then we get to cry about the people who are homeless under the 110.
You know what you should have done? Y'all really should have played the Pantera cover of Purple Haze.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You ever heard it? It's 45 seconds of that guitar riff with Phil Anselmo and smoke weed. Smoke weed.
Nice.
It's fucking hilarious. But this is tough. I guess Arch Enemy, because it was a good album, but I wasn't super blown away by it. There's a lot of these albums that I just was really not impressed with. Fuck. The Haunted, because I almost bought it one day.
All right. I'm going to go with...
That's the point. That's like my sticking point at this point. Like, I guess if I wanted to buy it once.
I'm going with Arch Enemy as well. I really, really dug that album. A lot of good stuff on there. And I'm going with Prophets of Rage.
Fly over.
Fly over, they fly over. Fucking Chuck D. I mean, come on. Then what's funny is my son got a drone for Christmas. Guess what I was fucking singing? Oh.
I should have put that in parentheses. Metal Hammer of Doom year-end special. They fly over.
They fly over. They fly over. Yes, but yeah, there was Primus the Desaturating 7 was an interesting album because it followed an actual book. That was, I mean, we've listened to albums that told stories before, but actually listening to Crispy Bacon read us a little bit from the goblins that ate the rainbow or whatever it was. That was an interesting. Did they play some of that? I assume they did when you got to see him.
Oh, they played the whole album when I saw them live. Yeah, that was their second set.
Man,
yeah,
they
did a whole first set where they did a lot of stuff from Fizzle Fry, which I was really happy about. And then there was an intermission, and then their whole second set was the Desaturating 7, and then they did an encore.
Okay.
All right.
You
go tally up the votes there, sir. Just in the interest of time, I'll keep this short. This one I discovered simply by listening to Liquid Metal. As much as I hate some of the DJs on Liquid Metal, on the rare occasion I'm driving my wife's van around, usually because I have to take her to work for one stupid reason or another, I'll listen to satellite radio in her car instead of my podcast. And obviously I keep it locked on Liquid Metal. I don't give a shit who's in the car with me. Though, as a side note, my son really into the Jingle Bells version from Austrian Death Machine. He was jamming out to it in the car. No More Mr. Nice Guy by Alice Cooper. And occasionally he pops up and he's just like, as long as it's not loud, man, some of this is really good. My little aggressive son that I'm going to put in karate soon. In any case, one of the days I was listening to Liquid Metal, I don't love a lot of what they play, but some of it, there's the rare occasion they play something that wows me, and I have to Shazam it really quick so I can remember it and find it later on Spotify. And this year's one that rang out to me the most came out July 28th, I believe, 2017. This is Byzantine from the Cicada Tree, Vile Maxime. What'd you guys think of that?
I just hopped on the old wiki. Byzantine, a heavy metal band from Charleston, West Virginia. That's only an hour and a half from here, man. I remember seeing a bit of these guys pop up on my Facebook, like people sharing a lot of stuff from this band, and I was like, I thought they were really local. Sure enough, they are, but they seem to be getting a lot more coverage now. Obviously, if Mark Radulich has heard them. Where did you say you heard them? I mean, how did you come across this song?
Liquid Metal, the
Liquid
Sirius XM station.
That's right. What do you think, Coop?
Yeah, I dug them.
Yeah, they seem heavy.
Yeah, it was good shit, man. All right, Coop, let's talk about the two-man Power Trip of wrestling. No, let's just talk about Power Trip, the band.
So I was introduced to them through the fact that, I went to their concert at Cannibal Corpse on my birthday, where there was a ton of hot chicks, and none of them were available. Imagine that. Anywho, it was them, Gate Creeper opened up, and then Cannibal Corpse was main event. Power Trip fucking blew my pants off. Hell, I'm going to wear my Power Trip shirt to work tomorrow. Because why the fuck not? Like, they're a really good crossover thrash band. Like, I forgot what the YouTube described them as. I think it was, Exodus meets Cro-Mags. Like, they're fucking good. I really dig their lyrics. Their lyrics are well done. A lot of it's politically charged, which, as every good crossover band should be. Yeah, they're fucking tremendous. I love their band. I love this album. The song I chose is really good. And actually, they managed to win out the CD buying race, because I almost bought Cannibal Corpse, which is a good thing, because my best friend got me Cannibal Corpse for my birthday. And he was like, "Oh, damn it, Coop, don't you fucking buy that album." He got lucky. He got real lucky. But yeah, they're really good. I fucking dig them. Plus, it was between this and Midnight, and I didn't even know Midnight had a new album until like last month. Because when I saw them in March, they weren't touring for it because it didn't come out until October. The new Midnight album's really good. I just felt like it wouldn't be as impactful a song to pick as Power Trip would be. I felt like it was much more up Mark's alley, that kind of crossover appeal. Because, Midnight's very, very deep in that early Bathory and Venom sort of sound. So plus the song is about, their song is, if I'm not mistaken, it is spreading disease through penetration. So, yeah, Power Trip was a little better.
Terrific.
Yeah, so, was it Firing Squad? Was that the song I picked?
Yeah, you did. All right, we ready to hear it?
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. This is Power Trip, Firing Squad.
Heaven, left to right, could
Yeah, that was right up my alley. That, what you call crossover thrash? Yep, that's my shit. Yep, power trip.
Actually, the song that got the video, it was a little slower. It was called Executioner's Tax.
Jesse, what did you think of it?
So the execution.
That's some heavy stuff. It threw I could feel the thrash all over that thing, man. And it felt like real early thrash to me just because it wasn't overproduced, which is perfectly fine. And it kind of throws you back to like the early days of thrash a little bit. So that's I dig it, man. That was some good stuff. I'm looking up. I just hopped onto their. Well, I did try to hop onto their wiki here, just to see. Are these guys? Did you say these guys have been around for a while?
I think this is their second album.
Looks. Yeah, you're probably right. There's a bunch of. This wiki is in German, I believe.
Just go to Metal Archives.
That's the place I need to go right there.
Jeez, I got that on speed dial, man.
Or they call them bookmarks.
Oh yeah, dude. I have to have my bookmarks saved in a file because I have so many different manga series that I want to remember to read someday. It's pretty sad.
All right, Jesse, you got the last track here. You got a doozy to close us out in 2017.
Oh my goodness.
Fucking Battle Beast, man. This is one that we were locked up solid in February, so we never got to it. But it was definitely on my list.
So unfortunate. Yeah, man. Battle Beast. This one popped up. I don't remember how. At what point? Hold on a second. I could tell you. At what point I added it to my list, because usually it'll show you when you add it to. So Battle Beast Bringer of Pain was the album. I added it in June of 2017. So that doesn't necessarily mean that's when it got released, but that's when I first heard it. And I was like, okay, I want to check out the rest of this album because I was really impressed. Now, I think this was the song that hooked me. The rest of the album's really good, but I still hold this song in high esteem, I guess you would say. Probably one of my favorites off the album. And the name of this song is King for a Day. So Mark Radulich, please hit the music.
Broken world and fear grows all around. There's a fight
That is really good, man. I'm gonna have to go back and revisit that whole album. That's fucking amazing. What a treat.
What a treat. Yeah, I'll tell you right now that song, there is a great song on there called Lost in Wars, and it's credited Battle Beast and a Tommy Jeltsin, which that's what Spotify has listed here. I don't know who that is, but that one is really solid. And there is also Bastard Son of Odin, fucking Straight to the Heart. All this great. Coop, you talked about cheese earlier. I think one of the things that you mentioned when we were discussing Battle Beast a while back was that these guys carried that cheese in spades a little bit. And it feels like it's something that came straight out of the late 80s to me. And they do such a great job of giving that feel, plus giving you some really great, great riffs along with some great metal. I'm telling you what, you won't be disappointed if you listen to Bringer of Pain. It's impressive.
Yeah, I know with this song, I had heard it before. It showed up like a gajillion times on my Spotify playlist, actually. It really did.
A gajillion.
Like, it does. Yes, that's the official number.
All right. That's gonna do it. Do we have another list to go through real quick or no?
We do. We got to finish out the year, and
okay.
Sadly, I don't think we have too many albums to pick from here because I was just looking through it. We did a lot of, I want to say a lot of.
Nonsense.
We had, just like you said, we had Wizard Thor in there. We had Poison. Look what the cat dragged in. Yeah, we had that kind of peppered in there. But here, I'm gonna give you what we got left, and then I'll pick my two. Mark, you'll pick yours, and then Coop, you can finish us out. All right, so we have that Nazi punching band, Stray from the Path. Only Death is Real. One of the greatest Nazi punching songs ever put to wax. Then we had Motorhead Undercover, which you couldn't say a whole lot about that album. It was Lemmy, sometimes phoning it in, sometimes just and he brought it to the table every once in a while through that album. But anyway, then we can't really count Wizard Thor because that came out a long time ago, right? Back in like the 2000s.
Yeah.
Okay. We have Ackercock, Renaissance in Extremis. Can't count Poison. Look what the cat dragged in, so take that off the list. We got Cannibal Corpse, Red Before Black, Cavalera Conspiracy, Psychosis, Nay, Obliviscaris, Urn, and last week's special, Galactic Empire. So, did I say I was going to pick first? Because I'm going to go ahead and pick. I'm picking that atmospheric album, Cavalera Conspiracy. And then I am going to go with, it's a toss-up here. I'm going to go with, I'll go with Stray from the Path. This wasn't my favorite. I guess this was from October to December. I know there's some great albums on here you guys really enjoy, but I'll go with Stray from the Path, and I will go with Cavalera Conspiracy, Psychosis.
All right. I'm going to go with Stray from the Path and Galactic Empire.
Okay. And you're totally you're not going to take Cannibal Corpse. I'm really surprised. All right,
cool. Little second here. Because there are 3 absolutely wonderful albums on this list, and y'all picked none of them.
Did you say you were taking Straight? Did you say you were taking Straight from the Path, Mark? Okay.
Yep, Straight from the Dude, The House Always Wins is still like one of my favorite songs to listen to just by itself. Fucking awesome.
Well, I guess I'll pick my 2 picks, which were Nail with the Scars and Ackercock, even though I really want Cannibal Corpse too.
Yeah.
It sucks that I have to leave Cannibal Corpse.
Okay. All right. So if you guys want a quick tally here, I'll just tell you we all agreed on Creator, Gods of Violence. Pretty easy. It looks like we all agreed on Ailstorm, right, Coop? You took Hailstorm, right?
Yep.
Okay. We all agreed on Arch Enemy as well. It looks like we got 3 people. All 3 of us took Arch Enemy, and I think that's it. So really, the top 3 albums off of what we picked tonight. I don't see anything else in there that kind of. Yeah, I think there's a couple that got 2 votes, and then there's a very few that got 1. But top 3: Creator Gods of Violence, Hailstorm, No Grave But the Sea, and Arch Enemy, Will to Power. And I can agree with those. I think all 3 of those are well worth repeat listens, in my opinion.
Indeed. All right, so here's my list. This is 1 track per album. I'm going to read these off really quickly. All right, Vandal's Nest from Machine Messiah, Sepultura. Visions of Tomorrow from Immortals by Firewind. World War Now from Gods of Violence from Creator. Mean Green Killing Machine from the Grinding Wheel, Overkill.
Mean Green
Killing
Machine.
Fuck the Neighbors from Crossover Ministry by Iron Reagan.
Fuck your yard.
In the Name of Us All, Godless Prophets and the Migrant Flora by Darkest Hour. 10,000 Ways to Die from Obituary. One of my favorite songs this year, Wasted Too Much Time. You guys know I was all over that shit. From Steel Panther. No Lives Matter from Body Count, nigga.
That's a good one.
Storm Breather from Mastodon. What was that?
You're white. You're white.
Roland Byrne. Zombie Motors Wrecking Yard. The Roman from XDO. World Gone Mad from Life of Agony. Metamorphosis with an F from Vampire. Judgment Day from Dragon Force. We all know my second favorite song of this year, Fucked with an Anchor by Hailstorm. Too Loud from Dream Evil. Coin for the Ferrymen, the only really great song off that Nickelback album.
Yeah.
Seven-Headed Whore from Iced Earth. My M.O. from Power Flow. Ideological Subjugation, Dying Fetus. Half God, Half Devil from In This Moment. Mankind Will Have No Mercy. Go to Analog Man, except Total State Machine, KMFDM, Doing It Again, A Treat for the Freaks, Truth or Dare. I
forgot about Analog Man being like the old man song.
That might be my favorite standout song of the year, in third place behind Wasted Too Much Time and Fucked with an Anchor. Means to an End from The Haunted. Rolled This Joint from Quiet Riot. Strength in Numbers from The Prophets of Rage. Reason to Believe from Arch Enemy. The Seven from Primus. You Will Know the Lion by His Claw from Cradle of Filth. Revelation number 12 by Marilyn Manson. Again, The House Always Wins featuring Vinnie Paz from Stray from the Path. Rockaway Beach from Motorhead. Inner Sanctum from Akakak. Scavenger, Consuming Death from Cannibal Corpse. Spectral War from Cavalera Conspiracy. And finally, Battle of the Heroes from the Galactic Empire. All right, folks, that wraps up the year in metal 2017. You bet your ass it does. We got a whole bunch of nonsense coming at you in 2018. And we're starting with the end of 2017. Just December is just one of those months where we don't get to a lot between, Christmas and the year-end show and everything, and trying to make up for what we missed in November. So I had a lot of stuff that came out here in December that, was worth looking at. We narrowed it down to 2. And one of those I'm actually going to throw to Robert and say, if you really don't want to do that one, you got a better idea. But we're going to kick off. We're not going to take a week off. We're going to come back next week with a new Metal Hammer of Doom. And I promised I would do this for Robert Cooper's benefit. Came out this December. It's Morbid Angel. Kingdoms Disdained. You excited about that, Robert? Are you happy I made that decision?
I am excited. I hope it does not suck.
Yes, I hope Morbid Angel doesn't suck either. I haven't listened to it yet. The first week of December is not great. So we're going to do another album from 2017 unless Robert Cooper has a better idea. we're going to do the new Asking Alexandria album, which also came out in December. However,
Coop's going to come up with a great idea.
Yeah,
Anything to get out of that one.
Alexandria.
here's your choices for what will have come out by this point in the month of January. There's a Shining album, a Summoning album, and a Watain album. I have no interest in any of those three.
Summoning and Watain.
You want to do one of those?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll have to look at them. I'm excited. Watain and Destroyer 666 are coming into Greensboro.
You want to do Watain?
That's gonna. We could do Watain.
Okay.
Chicks dig Watain.
How do you spell that?
W-A-T-A-I-N. All right.
W-A-T-A-I-N.
For Robert Cooper, for fuck's sake, I'm gonna change the schedule. I'm changing the schedule, Jesse Starcher.
Holy shit!
I know. Hell's gonna freeze over.
I'm changing the schedule to accommodate my man, the second chair, Robert Cooper. We're going to do Watain on January 10th, Trident Wolf Eclipse, which will come out on January 5th. All right, Jesse, you've got mail. That's the week that we're doing the 300. By the way, that was what I wanted to ask you. I never heard back from you on this. Can we record 300 on January 4th?
And did you want to do that? You wanted to record that or go live?
No, I thought we'd record. I thought we'd stick to you wanting to record earlier so that you could put the music in and everything, and that way on the 8th we can. On the 8th we can record Black Lightning, and then on the 15th the Vision, and on the 22nd nothing because there's no shows. On the 29th is actually you and me doing Black Mirror.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down with that, man. We can record.
Okay. Yeah, that way if we do it that way, we'll always have the week prior to record the next thing. Okay. If we go live, we're never going to have time to pre-record anything. We're going to have to go live almost every week.
I don't like that.
Right. So, plan to record 300 for the 4th to debut on the 8th.
And plan to schedule.
And plan to schedule. Lots of scheduling. All right. So here's the official calendar for January, and I'll just keep on going here. We got Morbid Angel on January 3rd. We're going to kick the new year off right. And kind of like what studios do, we're going to count that for 2018, even though it came at the end of 2017, because fuck it. Robert Cooper's pick, he gets a pick right. He gets an early pick this year. I don't make him wait till the spring anymore. Watain, Trident Wolf Eclipse. I love you, Robert Cooper. I hope you know that. The only reason why I'm doing this, because God knows I didn't want to review this album.
You're going to hate it, and I'm going to love it. It's going to be great.
That's okay. I got some
Jesse's
shit.
probably going to want to punch me in the butt.
Uh-oh.
On the 17th of January, the new Corrosion of Conformity, No Cross, No Crown, which I believe the single's out now. On the 24th, Avatar Country. On the 31st, Machine Head, Catharsis. And we roll into February. On the 7th, Leaves Eyes, Sign of the Dragon Head. Rob, on the 14th, Valentine's Day. This is my Valentine to you, Robert Cooper, okay? This is my Valentine to you. Orphan Land, Unsung.
Oh, you have no idea how happy that makes me.
I know. On the 21st,
absolutely one of my favorite bands.
I know. On the 21st, Philip H. Anselmo and the Illegals, Choosing Mental Illness as a Virtue, which that's when we did the last Philip H. Anselmo and the Illegals album, Jesse, and I can't believe how many people have gone back in the archives to listen to it.
Oh, really?
It's incredible. Yeah, it's a high number show there.
Grown-ass man ramble.
Yeah. On the 28th, we're going to be doing Visions of Atlantis, The Deep and the Dark. Jesse, you'll really like Visions of Atlantis. You dig chicks. You like the tits, Jesse Starcher. You'll love Visions of Atlantis.
I do.
On the 7th of March is Andrew W.K., You're Not Alone. Unless something better comes along. And then on the 14th, oh, they never retire. They're back again. Ministry. America can't.
Oh,
Can't.
boy.
And then right now there's a hole in the schedule. March 21st, there's nothing on the list here. It's all Tomb Raider week. We got some new Tomb Raider movie, an old Tomb Raider movie we're going to review, and a Tomb Raider comic. But we got nothing to review right now on the 21st as far as what's being released. I asked Robert to take a look at the list and see if there's anything I might have missed that he's interested in. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Well, Robert Cooper looks, or if you want, I'll read them off to you. But the week after, we've got a new monster magnet, Mindfucker. Yeah. Mindfucker, Jesse Starcher. That's on the 28th of March. And then the last thing I have scheduled here for Video Game Week, we got all video games all the time. It's Power Glove, Metal Combat. We decided, Metal Combat for the Mortal Man. That's what we're doing. That's one of our fun weeks where we go back in time and review an older album because it's a theme. But I was thinking about doing the new Power Glove, but apparently they're not really releasing an album as they are just releasing new tracks. So fuck that. All right, Robert Cooper. Here's what's listed right now for 2018. You ready?
Yes.
All right. Black Veil Brides, Heidevolk, Mystic Prophecy,
Maybe.
Trespass, Tied to Boar,
Nope.
White Wizard,
No.
Anvil,
Maybe.
Arcona.
Ooh.
I'm not doing any greatest hits or EPs or compilations or any of that shit. So skipping Black Label Society. Cane Hill, Dalriada, Of Mice and Men, Terra Universal, Unshine, Agrimonia, Black Moth, Hamatom, In Vain, Loudness, Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons, The Poodles, Portal, Sleeping Giant, Tribulation, Gnaw Their Tongues, Long Distance Calling, Saxon, Therion, The Atlas Moth, Harm's Way, Voodoo Circle. Which one are you oohing?
Ooh, I mean, there's some of them like y'all would hate the Atlas Moth. So that Atlas Moth is fucking crusty, like fucking. They're sludge metal.
I was actually in that March 21st slot. I was actually thinking about doing Saxon Thunderbolt, but I figured I'd run it by you first.
Saxon's good. Arcona is a really good. They're a good Russian folk metal band.
Okay.
They're a good
Angra.
one. What was? Ooh, I like Angra.
Go ahead. Yeah, I know Angra is really good. They were on a lot of the whatever that progressive metal festival in Europe was, or Georgia. There was for a couple of years there was this. Yeah, like I know Angra played on that show a couple of times. So Angra, Dizzy Reed, Escape the Fate, The Plot in You, Pop Evil, Senses Fail, Dimmu Borgir has an EP out, but they've got a full-length album coming out later this year, so don't worry about that. Necrophobic, Tenger Cavalry, Megahertz, Pestilence, Miles Kennedy,
Did you say
Suspiria.
Pestilence?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like Pestilence. That's old school death metal.
Suspiria,
Love that
and
movie.
finally, so far the April calendar hasn't totally come out yet, but right now it's on the April calendar as Crematory, Oblivion, and in May, Iron Angel, Hellbound. So, Saxon, is that what we decided on?
Sure. And if we end up changing it, we can change it.
All right. Well, tentatively schedule Saxon for March. Ever hear of Saxon, Jesse?
Actually, I have. It's been a while since I listened to anything from him, but I know who you're talking about there.
I think that's a good fit for Tomb Raider. No, it really isn't, but
I was like, okay, sure.
All right. Any last words, burning desires? Any last comments before we get out of here for the night, for the year? For the first time, for the last time?
2017's been a lot of fun. I'm really surprised at the pace and schedule that we kept, and that we did it. I've got to hear a lot of new music. Became a fan of Creator, which I just by looking at the album cover would have been something that scared me to death when I was a kid. So I'm really surprised that they put out. They honestly were one of the most surprising bands, and we listened to that really early on in the year, and it was a mainstay throughout. It was like it set the bar for the year. So Arch Enemy was a band that I wasn't very familiar with. Had the opportunity to listen to again here in 2017, and Ailstorm never lets me down. Ever since Sunset on the Golden Age, so that was my introduction to them. Listening to you guys talk about them, and then No Grave But the Sea just fucking launched into space. So, or dove to new depths. I don't know which way you want to put it, but it was a great album all around. So our top three, I think, again, just to kind of rehash it, it kind of shows you what year 2017 was. Glad to got to hang out with you boys and do it. I look forward to 2018.
All right. Any last words of Burning Desires, Mr. Cooper?
I work at 5 a.m.
All right. For the sleepy Robert Cooper and for the disapproving dad, Mr. Jesse Starcher, who gets his education every Wednesday night. Hey, Jesse, does your wife know you're on a podcast tonight?
I told her, I said, I'm going to get my damn shirt out, and you will not be able to say a word.
My wife is jealous. My wife is jealous. She was like, "Oh, he got a personalized shirt. I have to make you one now. This is fucked up, man. This will not stand." We're very competitive in this
got
household.
My schedule on the back. I mean, Mark, could you imagine a shirt with a schedule on the back? Holy shit, that's Mark Radulich all over.
That's meta right there.
Can you imagine if I would have had a shirt like that back when I did that 3,000 podcasts a week?
Yes, you wouldn't have been wearing a shirt. You'd have been wearing a scroll. But all right, for the Metal Coop,
it would have been my wedding. It would have been like a wedding train.
Third attempt for the Metal Coop, Robert Cooper. For the disapproving dad, I am the schedule, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich. This has been the 2017 year in review for the Metal Hammer of Doom. We'll see you in 2018 with Morbid Angel. Be well, be safe, and behave.
And now, insurance-minded speeches from GEICO.
Hardship. My grandmother would go through it every month to pay her insurance bill. First, she would handwrite a paper check, in cursive. Then, using her own tongue, she would wet a stamp for an envelope. Today, however, we need not weary our hands and tongues. Today, we can pay our GEICO bill with the GEICO app. Away with hardship, in with bill pay on the GEICO app. Thank you.